Okay, so what a trader would have thought is this is a $50 stock. The theme right now are penny stocks. So we could do ZOM. This ran today, and you could tell from 0.56 to 0.62, all penny stocks are just running. ZOM. We can do FAMI. FAMI also ran today all the way from 0.46 to 0.59. MKD was another one. This went from 0.42 to 0.52. So when you would have gotten CYRN on your volume scanner, you would have been like, oh shit, there's tons of loads going into after hours here. Let me keep this on watch. And so the first candlestick in after hours was about 10,000 volume. You can see at top left of my screen, it says how many shares were being traded during that 1 minute. So this gained really big momentum. I personally wouldn't have played this. It was just way too quick, way too unorganized. But I do have this resistance drawn out here, probably because as I saw this running, I clicked on the daily chart and I saw that the 0.91 area is resistance. And you can tell by looking at the previous, if you want to chart something to day trade, you want to look back in time and check support and resistances. So we can see right here, this 0.91 area, or generally the 0.9 area, is being used as support. So when it came down to this 0.9 area, it bounced up again. And when it came down here again, it bounced up, came down, bounced up. So this right here is called previous support. So it's being used as support. So why would it be resistance right now? It's because previous support always becomes new resistance. And that's like one of the most important things in trading, is that previous support becomes new resistance, and old resistance becomes new support. So old resistance becomes new support, old support becomes new resistance. Write that down. That's extremely important. So that's what happened here. This 0.91 area that was old support before is now new resistance. So when we hit that area, we came down, we consolidated, and we just held up during after hours. This is probably my top candidate for a gap on Monday because of how it just held up, and because it just has massive room on the chart for a lot more than $1. So yeah, this is CYRN. This is how you could have played it. And my main 2 points here are drawing your resistance and support, before trading, and the volume coming into after hours. That's probably the most important thing you can learn here. And you can use trade ideas for volume, trading view, Weeble. You can just go on the Weeble top gainer charts and just flip this to the 5 minute, and this shows you the most percent gained stocks within the last 5 minutes. So yeah, and that's CYRN, penny theme, massive loads before close. And yeah, next let's go over Kplt. So Kplt, me and Minnie and a couple of other people, Ultra, were yeah, what's up, Ultra? CYRN. Preloads. Give you permission to talk. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
All right. So something interesting with CYRN, you see how there was a lot of preloads right there, right before close?
Yep.
And there's a big time gap in between. So was there news that sent it? How long, what was the time difference there?
That was about 20 minutes.
Yeah. So was there news between that 20 minutes, or was it just like
I don't think there was
preload on penny theme?
Yeah, I don't see news on CYRN.
Okay.
Did you see any
news?
That's
interesting. No, I mean, I heard a lot of chatter about it on Twitter, but I just thought it was interesting how it had those big preloads right before close, and it just started going like 20 minutes after it closed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree, but yeah, I'm checking right now. I don't see any news on my scans or on my news filter.
Okay.
But yeah, if anyone saw any news, let me know in the chat.
Yeah, it's just a theme right now. I guess pennies are just heating up into fall. So
yeah, pennies are the theme. In the stock market, there's always going to be themes like crypto. A lot of crypto stocks will be running in the same week. NFT, Black Lives Matter, cancer stocks, weed, shippers, etc. So there's always themes in the penny stock world all the time. Yeah, let's go on to KPLT. Yeah, COVID stocks too. So KPLT, me, Ultra, and Mini, and a couple other people overnighted this. Very small overnight, and yeah, we announced we were overnighting, etc. But you know, this was last night, so it gapped up this morning about 70 cents, and it just literally just kept drifting away the entire day. And I'm pretty sure this was because why it was even gaining hype is because of AFRM. Right here, you can see KPLT started gaining momentum and volume at the beginning of after hours yesterday. And this was because it was a sympathy of AFRM that had amazing earnings. They had I believe a price target update and what was it? And some Amazon news. So they're dealing with Amazon. They had amazing earnings, and the earnings just really sent them in after hours. This is a big cap stock, but KPLT is a sympathy of this. So it started going yesterday after hours just because of AFRM. And yeah, it just held up really well. That's why it was top candidate for gap for it. That's why we held some overnight. And that's why I was saying earlier, CYRN could also be a gap round Monday just because of how well it's holding up in after hours and because it has the room. And if you look at the KPLT daily chart, you can see right here, this was in the 19s, this was in the 15s very recently, 3 months ago. So this definitely has the area to gap up hard the next morning. So yeah, that's basically KPLT. The reason it was running is because of it's a sympathy, and yeah, and it just drifted the entire day today. Didn't do anything much, just complete downtrend. But yeah, also the daily chart reminded me of what was it? ATER chart. So you can see it was like threes. If you look at ATER, threes as well, and then just massive pops. Let's go over IRNT probably. Okay. IRNT. So this is a very known runner. So when people see known runners like stocks that have ran the last week now running again, they're like, oh shit, this was just running last week and it made a massive move. Let me play this again. Maybe to this time it does the same. So it's very easy for them to gain volume. So if you're looking at the daily chart of IRNT, you can see right here this day it went from 13 to 18. This time again, it went from 14 to almost 19. It's just a daily runner. So if we're looking at the 1 minute chart, you can see it started yesterday. I believe no, it didn't. Okay, so the rally started this morning. I also think they had news, if I remember correctly. I think they had news this morning about. Let me check. Give me a second. What was it? INT. Oh yeah. Okay. So IronNet announces expansion of philanthropic partnership with 9/11 Museum. Okay, so it wasn't that big news. It was just that they were serving as a sponsor, but that could have been attraction of volume. But anyway, let me chat. Okay, so this started gaining volume in the morning. And yeah, you could see right here, the volume's on the bottom of my screen, by the way. So it started gaining volume, started gaining momentum. It went to break $20, which is psychological resistance. And, it started downtrending. You could have played this downtrend right here. That would have been an easy scalp. Just bought the candle that closes above this resistance line. And wait, hold on. Let me do something real quick. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, so you can see during this downtrend, you could have bought the downtrend break. So you could have added this this break of resistance and just scalped it right here. But, for the rest of the day, it tried to retest 20 again. It couldn't fully close above 20, but you can see the volume dried out here. Not everyone was into it. People were like, oh, it's done for the day. It tried to retest 20, couldn't break it. So that's how 20 minute is very good resistance for the stock. It's a big psychological resistance, and it's been tested twice and it hasn't been broken. But yeah, and then momentum completely died out. Literally volume died out. It dipped almost $2, and then it just kind of started gaining price, not a lot of volume either. And when no one was looking, when everyone thought it was done for the day, it broke 20, full candle close above it, and it just ripped throughout the day. You could see right here that when it broke 20 and 2068, which I believe is a different resistance from old time, but oh no, I do this because it's support. So let me take this out. I want to confuse you guys, but when it broke 20, the first time it dipped was this area right here, consolidated a bit, and then it just kept going and it came back to that same area, consolidated, then went again. So that's how you identify basically your support, because when it came down to this area, it bounced off. And then when it came down to that same area, it bounced again. So that's how you identify support. And then you could be like, oh shit, the third time it comes down to this line right here, I'm going to buy and stop out right under. But yeah, I just kept making new highs. You could have played downtrend break right here. You could have played this downtrend break, and you probably would have bought this candle, a full candle close above the downtrend, and that would have been a nice play. And then in after hours, it did come down to this trend line, this support line, and you could have bought it right here and just scalped it, I guess. But yeah, okay. That's iron T. Let's go over. EEIQ. Okay, let me check the chat. Give me a second. I will be answering all questions. Hold on, let me kick this person. I will be answering all questions when I'm done going over all the setups. So I'll just ask you guys for questions and I'll go through every single one. But yeah, okay, let's go over EEIQ. Give me a second. Okay, so let's go over EIQ. So EIQ, I believe there was no news on this, but it did halt somewhere here. I remember, I don't know exactly where, I think around this area, but it halted and it just couldn't break this line right here. It couldn't break this resistance. Obviously, we didn't have this drawn out before, but when you see that it can't break this specific area right here, just draw a resistance line somewhere right there, somewhere like that. And when you see a full candle close right above that resistance line, that's when you know, okay, let me enter. So this candle right here, this was the example of what I just said. But if you look at the volume, there was no volume confirmation. So if you look at this volume candlestick, it was almost the same as the volume candles that preceded it. So, you know, there wasn't any like massive volume to tell you, oh, buying pressure is coming in. This is definitely going to be a break. So it faked out. And whoever bought this break, this candle close, would have probably took a loss on that because it went right under. But then over here, if you look, it broke it. It closed above. It closed above this resistance line, and you can see the volume confirmation right there. You can see the volume confirmation, and it closed above it. So that would have been okay. Let me try this. I'll stop out right under. So if you would have bought that candlestick above it, that would have been a nice trade as well. It rejected in the 7.5 area once and then twice. So that would have been like, you would have been like, oh shit, that's my resistance. I'll draw a line right there too. Consolidated for a bit. You could have played downtrend break right here. And then right when it broke that, it closed above it. You could see the volume confirmation right there. So right when it broke that downtrend, just look at that volume confirmation. That would have been your indication. Oh shit, let me buy. Hold on, give me a second. I'm pretty sure I kicked. Can you text to kick? Okay. But yeah, that would have been your confirmation, the volume and the full candle close above the downtrend. So then it tried to break over this this resistance right here. You can see the massive volume. If you bought this breakout, like, you would have probably taken a loss on that, obviously, but you know, there's nothing you can do about that. Sometimes plays knife, sometimes they reject, you know, it happens. Not all trades can be 100%. but it did consolidate and it kept trading in this price range the entire time. It held up very well, you know. It retested this break right here, tried to break it, couldn't break it. It retested again during this area, tried to break this resistance, couldn't break it, and then just rejected. And then, yeah, it just came back down to the support area. If you're watching from here, this used to be old resistance. We drew this line, like I said, because it was old resistance. So if you drew this line for old resistance, you know now that once it breaks it, like I said before, old resistance becomes new support. So if you fast forward in time and you look right here, it came down exactly to this line and it bounced up all the way to like 6.4. It's just 1 minute, but yeah, it was right before close, so it was a bit messy. But if that happened during the day, probably it would have bounced. So like I said before, it's super important. Old resistance, new support. Old support, new resistance. Let's see something. Okay. Yeah, so I don't think this had any news or anything, but it's just this really thin stock, low flow, always running for no reason. Just happens. Let me see. We'll go over. Hold on, give me a second. 423.
What's up, Flooded? Good to hear.
Let me make sure I'm ultras on mute. Okay. Cool. So
What's up, Flooded?
What's up? So let me see. Let me see what stock we can go over. We can do ATER. Have we gone over ATER? No, we haven't. Definitely haven't. So, okay, so ATER has been running for the past like week, and you can just see when you look at this daily chart, you know, all the way from $3 to $13.25 today. But yeah, so I have these trend lines drawn from the other days, but let's do the 30-minute because this has been running for a while now. So the first time it started rallying was when it was around $14, ran all the way to 10, and it could not break that $10 range and hold it. So it got rejected once, got rejected twice, got rejected 3 times. So it just couldn't break that area. Wait, okay, so it couldn't break that area. So now we've identified this area right here as resistance. So yeah, so we just had this line right here. We drew this line because this is literally resistance. It cannot break this area, and it consolidated for a while, lost momentum. You can see, you can just look at the volume. You could tell it's lost momentum, lost volume. And later on, it tries to break this area. That's also some resistance right there. It couldn't break this area. You see right here when it also couldn't break it, it consolidated for a bit, then broke it. Now we came back to this area. We tried to break it, which is the $8 mark. We couldn't, we rejected, that's resistance. So we keep going, fast forward a couple days. It starts gaining momentum, gaining volume. You can tell by looking at the volume candlesticks right here. And again, we tried to break this same area that we couldn't break last time, and we also failed to do so this time. So I remember this happening too. We failed and we came back down to this support line. And we consolidated very nicely in after hours and pre-market, very nicely. Is there support resistance for volume candles? No. But what time frame do you use to trade? Always 30 minutes? Well, let me post actually. I'll post my I'll post the time frames in chat for those who are wondering which ones to use. Okay, so for day trading, I'll use the 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, 4 minute, and swing trading 4 hour daily and weekly time frame. So we can see ATER was consolidating very nicely, and it broke over this high. So right here, we could not break this area. Obviously, that's why we rejected. You can see that wick right there, that upper wick. We consolidated above this support, and we finally just broke out. I think this is definitely top potential for next week by far. It just looks great. It could definitely go 20 plus. And the reason this has been running is because it's probably, I think it's one of the most shorted stocks on the market. But wait, did I? me a second, guys. I muted my boy.
We've been on this ATER from $7. I know a lot of people banking here. I've been smashing the table here from 7. Past 3 days, you know, we just nailed this play. So definitely got more potential. If you look at the, could you pull up the daily flooded?
Yeah.
Do you have the 200 EMA indicator on?
No, I can turn it on for you.
Yeah, thank you.
200 EMA, you said?
Yeah.
There you go.
So
Purple line.
you see how that's resistance on the daily chart. So 14, I think that was
73.
1470. Okay, yeah. So
70.
1475 to $15 is going to be a very, very big resistance area. So if we actually candle close over 15, oh man, this is going 2025. I've been saying 912 to 15 from $7, and I still think this has major potential. So play of the day for us today. Called that out for that as well. But I definitely think this has the most potential right now. And also, could you pull up Kplt? That's that was a nice overnight swing that kind of follows
Yeah.
ATER. I've noticed.
Yeah,
So
I just went over that. So
okay, yeah. So if you look at that daily, it's mimicking ATER daily before it broke out. It's sort of mimicking ATER daily before it broke out. So
give me a sec. There's someone fucking around in chat. His name? Who? Which one?
Joel.
Abdul, Joel, like
Oh damn! Wow,
DMs.
that's some fucking childish shit right there.
What an idiot. That's actually hilarious. Okay, cool. Manny's Butler. Okay, cool. Um, Okay, done with ATER. I think we've covered everything we wanted with ATER, but
I'm just happy everyone banked on that. That was a play.
yeah, really good play. Congrats on
Oh
that.
yeah.
Let's see, which one was it? SMGA. SGMA. SGMA. So this was just a mover today. Was there news on this? I actually didn't check. SGMA. Okay, announced their first quarter fiscal. Cited potential headwinds for gazillion challenges. Okay, yeah, so probably search Friday after it's okay, so earnings. Okay, so how you could have played this. First volume pop right here, 60K candle. This set it up for the entire day. Wait, let me open chat. Any questions or anything? So so let me cancel this 200 EMA. So first slap right here. This is the 1 minute chart. Every single stock I've went over, I've been using the 1 minute chart because we're looking at the intraday. We're looking at what happened today during the day. So we saw this pop right here. We started uptrending until we hit $8. That was our first resistance. That's where we rejected around that mark. Yeah, there you go. Looks a bit better. So we rejected that. We tested it again. We rejected. We finally had a candle close right above that $8 mark. And we spiked all the way to 844, rejected that area, consolidated for a bit. You see these longer wick candles? That shows you that when it came down almost to that $8 level, buyers took control and brought it all the way back up to 817.
Yo, Flooded, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
So I just want to go over that right there. That buy and retest the break of resistance right there. You see right where his mouse go back 3 candlesticks. One more. You see how that broke $8, and then I sent that video out recently where clear break, right? So it breaks resistance, retest that resistance as new support, and then goes. So that's a perfect example of break of resistance, retest of that resistance as support, and then breakout. That's perfect right there.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Okay. So yeah, this wick right here, like I was saying, this wick, this is basically showing you that buyers have control in this area, because when it came down to the $8 area, all the way from like 820, buyers brought it all the way back up to that area. Second candle, same exact thing happened. That longer wick right there shows you that buyers have control. Buyers have control around the $8 period, and they brought it all the way to retest the 840 level, the resistance. But there wasn't enough buying pressure. Sellers took over and they brought it all the way back down to $8. It dropped a bit under 8, consolidated, went back up, almost tried to retest that resistance. I'll bring this down a bit, right around the 840 mark. Almost tried to retest, couldn't, and it was just trading between this support and resistance. Someone said, so is buyer bottom wick and seller top wick. So what I mean by that is pretty much, yeah. So if you have a top wick, that means when it went to this resistance, the top wick means that the sellers brought it down. So sellers took control in that area. But the bottom wick, the lower wick, is showing you that, it went all the way down to where the lowest part of the wick is, and buyers took it all the way back up. So basically, yeah, what you said. So it traded between this support and resistance area, and it was either gonna lower this even to there, but it was either gonna, that's why I had it there in the beginning, but it was either gonna break support or break resistance. So 2 ways you could have played this. One, you could have bought the resistance break, which is right here. This play, that would have been 840 to 916 potential gains. You could have played that, or you could have just bought it every time it went to support and sold at resistance. So let's just say it comes down here, and we know this is support without even needing this area. Why? Because let me take that out. Because even before it even bounced to that on this line, yeah, this video is being recorded. This was old resistance right here. Like I said, like 3 times already, old resistance becomes new support. So when it came down, you could tell, oh shit, this was old resistance right here. I might have to buy right here because, now there's now this is new support because it was old resistance. And this is confirmation right here, this bounce, that this is a good support. It's a strong support. So the next time it comes down, that's your chance to buy and then sell right before it hits that resistance. 10-11 candle. What about the 10-11 candle? What about the top? Is it being recorded? I'm confused. Okay. If you have a question, just ask it all in the same sentence. But yeah, so you could have bought this resistance break as well. This next candle right here, when it broke out, it closed fully above resistance, and look at the volume confirmation right there. That just shows you that there's buying pressure coming in. There's a lot of buying volume coming in, and you could have added this candle right here, sold the next candle. That would have been an easy 30, 40 cent scalp. But yeah, just consolidated for a bit, flagged out, and then you could have played this downtrend break right here. That's why I had it drawn. But right when it broke this resistance, it closed this candle right here, closed above resistance, and it came down to retest it. That's probably where I would have added, and probably just sold this pop right here, or you could have held. And I don't know if you were going to hold all the way to this area because this is support right here. Okay, now I'm going to take these out. Why did we bounce right here? So you see this area, how would you have known to buy this area right here? Looking at this chart, can people tell me in the chat, like, anyone know why we would have known to buy this area? I've said it like 4 times already in this call.
I say this all the time, guys.
Okay, yeah. So basically everyone already knows the answer. This is old resistance. So you could tell already it's tested this resistance 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and this time it finally broke out. So this is old resistance. Now it becomes new support. So you would have had this line drawn out, and right when it came down to it, you would have been like, oh shit, this is now new support because it was old resistance. So you would have added some right here, and yeah, it just broke out. You could have played this downtrend right here, this downtrend break. You probably would have lost money on that because it only popped 10 cents before taking a shit. But This one right here got rejected hard, couldn't break this downtrend and just drifted away for the rest of the day. And then it came back down to this support line. You could have added some anywhere here and just sold this pop right here. Second. And you know, right now I'm just this is completely naked trading, so I'm not using like shit. Blank mind for a second. I'm not using VWAP. I'm not using any indicators like EMAs, MAs, MACDs, MACD, RSI, but those are all very helpful in day trading, swing trading, whatever. So yeah, I use VWAP, I use 20 MA, but right now I just want to go over purely support and resistance. So I thought it would be best to just keep the chart as simple as it can so people don't get confused. What should I go over? So the SGMA. What have we not gone over? Oh, I see. Why was this even running? I forgot. Hold on, give me a second. Jesus Christ. Benson's. You're a bitch. Okay, removed. Give me a second, guys. I just want to check why this was running. The percent, no. Okay, so this was running because APLS reported its phase 3 results, which is a completely different stock. But wait, I think it was bad. So I think they're like, yeah, I think they're like opposites. Where if one dumps, the other one goes. Probably competition companies. I'll have to look into that more. But let's see. Let's go over ISEE. Okay. So this started soaring right here. Hit 15. This was yesterday after hours, and yeah, I wouldn't have played this anywhere here either, anywhere here. But I would have probably played it today because just going over accumulation the entire day. It was literally trading between one price range, which is from 1330 to around 15 the entire day. Multiple chances to play this. And let me draw resistance right here. Okay, so we start the day off. You know, I had this downtrend line because I wanted to play it when it broke, but I did play it right here, I believe, this one. I got faked out and I did end up selling for a loss, and I didn't play it the second time where I would have made a ton of money. But yeah, so we rejected here. That's how you know this is resistance. And we came down, we bounced in this area. Massive green candle. Not a lot of volume, but yeah, it came down, started consolidating, hit this resistance that we hit previously. Couldn't break it, dumped again, hit this old support. Why do we have that drawn out? Probably because of this consolidation right here, support, and this acting as resistance. So we have this line drawn out. So we can use that to help us say, oh shit, and it bounced again here, another confirmation, bounced again here, bounced again here. So we're like, okay, at this point right here, 840, this time, we're like, next time it comes down to this 1340 area, we want to buy. Why? Because this is support. It went up, got rejected at this line, this resistance area, just like it got rejected here, 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 here. And again, couldn't break it. Again, couldn't break it. Again, couldn't break it. Now it's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down. Just consolidated a bit. Tried to break it again, couldn't break it. Tried to break it again, couldn't break it. It
See
came
how
down
it
to
just tried to give me what? You go back a little bit. Yeah, go to the right. You see where it tried to fake out over that right there. So that's what I mean by a clean breakout. So basically, that was just an upper wick that didn't have a candle close above. So that's why that wouldn't be a play if you were playing the resistance break because there wasn't a candle close above. So that's what you want to try to focus on.
Yeah, so it couldn't break it, it couldn't break it. So this was like really strong resistance. We want to watch two ways we could have played this, just like the other stock I was going over. We could have played the break of this resistance, or we could have added at support and sold at resistance. So next time it came down to support, like I said earlier, we were thinking in our minds, after seeing it bounce so many times off this support, not so many times because we don't want that. The more times it tests support, the higher chance it has of breaking it every single time. So we want a good, the weaker the support is basically. So we want a good 3, maybe 4 times of testing the support. So the next time it comes down, we will add right here, we will accumulate and we'll just sell the pop. Very simple. Came down again. You can add, accumulate, sell the pop. Very simple. Same thing happened, and right before after hours, it broke this resistance, consolidated for a bit, couldn't hold above it much. And just drop right under, and that was it for the day, I guess. I don't really think anything happens.
I'll be watching that next week 15 clear break. I think it has potential for 20, but gotta make that 15. And yeah.
Yeah, I think ISEE and ATER next week's. Oh, let me go over EEIQ. Ought to be messy. Okay, let's see. Let me go over BBIG. Okay, so we have some resistance right here. Why? Because first time we tried to break this line, rejected. Second time, couldn't hold over it. The more it tests support, it gets weak, but it tested 3 times and went to uptrend. Well, yeah, sometimes that happens, but the more times it tests support, the higher chance that it has of breaking it every single time. Same with resistance. But yeah, we couldn't break this line at all over here. Test it again, couldn't break it. So 11.55, 11.55. That's a really important, what was I gonna say? Resistance area, 11.55. I'll watch for over that. And yeah, someone said think of it as walls. Yeah, that's a very good way to think of it. So let's just say the ask has 500,000 shares. Every time it hits that ask, more people are going to keep buying up. It hits it again, more people are going to keep buying it up, and eventually it will break. And that's how resistance and support works. So the more times the more times it touches that support or resistance, more chances it has of breaking it each time. Oh yeah, but that's it for BBIG. What else can we go over? Oh, we went over ISEE. But yeah, I like ISEE over here. Actually looks really nice. I like its consolidation. I'll watch for 15 break, probably 15.5s. Or like mini set 15. But yeah. Okay, let me do one more and then we'll take your guys' questions. And then I'll just take questions or just go over any charts. Anyone wants? Give me a second. Don't send the charts right now. We'll just do one more. What can we do? Hold on. Give me a second, guys.
Call that a business meeting. You want me to speak? All right. What's up? Looks like thought I got a business call, huh? Business meeting. Okay, so people are asking to go over BBI or CEI. So CEI I would really focus on, um, you know, it's pretty high right now, but the people are swinging. I know a lot of people are swinging this, but I personally don't like playing stocks under $1. So that's I mean, it used to be under $1, but I don't like that float. That's not more of like a day trade for me. So I'm gonna stay away from that personally. HEPA, I would definitely watch that because that had a major pop into after hours. Looks like someone loaded the crap out of that. So it's been consolidating under VWAP. Um, so I would watch the break of $2. Clear break of 2 for the next leg. SOS kind of had the same chart this morning where it hit 3.07 and consolidated for a bit and then broke 3. It tried to break 3, rejected, went to 2.9 and then broke 3 again and then it went to like 317 area. So I'm not if you're playing HEPA, I wouldn't look for like a crazy fast move. It's more of like a bigger float, slow grinder type play. Um, uh, SDC, let's see. SDC, what I see on the daily, it's got to hold this. It's really got to hold this $5 area. Otherwise, under 5, I think it's going lower. If you do want to add here, like 515 area, and then stop right under 5, and then look for like 556 plus. That could be a potential play, but it's really got to hold that 5 area. Any on the daily is really setting up. It's holding that 20 SMA, consolidating under 7.75. If you look at the resistance, or if you look at the 775 resistance is major on any. So I would definitely watch that. 775 to 8 break. I think 8 break is going to go around 950. So 775 8 break. Keep that on watch every single day. I think that has mad potential for a pretty big move because of the consolidation and holding support and consolidating above support. It's in a channel right now, so keep that on watch.
All right, what's up?
I just went over a few tickers, any SDC.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Let's do. You have any tickers? Oh wait. Oh yeah. FRM. So this is the one I was talking about with KPLT. This is why KPLT was running. It was a sympathy to this. So let me look at the 1 minute chart. So we'll go over all questions you guys have in a bit. Just you're gonna be wasting your time typing them in now, but have them ready when I ask for them. But you can see right when after hours started, everyone was expecting earnings. There was a big sell-off, I think. No, there wasn't. Okay, so right when after hours starts, they released their earnings, very good earnings. It ripped all the way. I'm pretty sure they also had a price target update, but I think it was 140 or 120. Okay. Anyway, but it ripped all the way in after hours, created this resistance right here. We draw this line for next time. Could not break it at all in after hours and pre-market. Market opened today, and we tested the same resistance. Someone said AFRM was Amazon News, I think. Yeah, there was also Amazon News. Yeah, I believe AFRM also has like is tied with KPLT. That's also another reason that.
Oh, it looks like you've seen called AFRM for 800%.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? KPLT has ties with AFRM, and this AFRM deal with Amazon will improve KPLT's business structure. I haven't looked into that much, but we tested this same resistance right here. I'm gonna go on the 5 minute so you guys can see how many times we tested this. Tested this once, twice, 3 times. We could not break it at all here. Market open, tested it again once, twice, couldn't break it. Eventually we broke it. So the more times we test resistance or support, higher chance there is of breaking it. So when we did break it, we retested it. We came down. We used it as support because when we break resistance, like I said, old resistance is new support. Old support is new resistance. When we broke it, it came down, consolidated above it, and was just great. This is a big cap, so obviously you can just buy options on this or even fractional shares, I think, on some brokers, but could have went long on this. Very good break of resistance right there. And now it's heading towards all-time highs. But yeah, KPLT is a sympathy for anyone asking. because not everyone not approved with. Yeah, but yeah, they're just sympathies. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me see if we can go over anything else. For the people talking about MICT, that's for all my premium members out there doing very well. Oh wow, 212, nice, cool. I think this will gap. So this is our challenge play. Our average is 1.88. But yeah, very good close. It closed right above this resistance line I have drawn out. Why do I have this line drawn? Because it couldn't break this resistance right here, and it tested this time a couple days ago. Couldn't break it, and today it finally closed above it, and it's performing very well in after hours. I think I'll just do. Wait, let me see. Let me ask if there's anything else. Might just do. Yeah. Okay. So give me a second. Okay, go ahead. Put any questions, and we'll just go over them.
So Joel asked, when you're day trading, do you mainly use support and resistance for PTs or chart patterns? I mostly use psychological resistance. So every 25 cents. So 25.50 is going to be a bit bigger resistance, and then every whole dollar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 is going to be massive, and then 10 is going to be massive, and then 15 is going to be massive. So obviously, you know, when I'm charting it out, I have the wedges and the pennants and all drawn out. So those definitely help, you know, kind of read the chart. Profit taking strategies, I would, you know, if you're trying to compound gains, look for, you know, quick gains, look for 25 cents. That's pretty big on a scalp. If you have 1,000 shares, that's 250 bucks. Keep compounding. If you get 4 of those, that's $1,000 a day, you know. Just take that. So, you know, small gains add up. If you think 250 is small, if you get 4 of those trades, you get 1,000. You know, that's, and make sure to build that account slowly to where you can start sizing in more. When you start winning more trades, you're going to get more confidence. And when you have more confidence, you could size in more, less emotion. And that's when your journey starts, you know. Yes, so every 25 cents is resistance. So you want to start scaling at resistance and then look for resistance breaks for the next leg. So, you know, not all out at resistance unless you really want to take that 25 cents, which is not bad for a scalp. Like SGMA, you know, we had a 40-cent move, but I didn't take any gains because I wanted high of day. So for the people that had a 40-cent move, that's great. If you had 1,000 shares, that's 400 bucks. 2,000 shares, that's 800 bucks. But 100 shares, that's 40 bucks, you know? Uh, so you can compound those, but you know, I was trying to look for that bigger run, so I didn't scale any and I took a small loss. But I know a lot of people that, you know, sold it, took a win. But just like ISEE, the first round I had a win. I had from 1332 ads I posted everywhere, Discord, Twitter, and it went to 15.5. So that was a massive win in the second round on ISEE. I got knifed, but I'm still green 20K on that trade because I took a 11K loss on the second round. But the first round was so good for us that, you know, the second round doesn't really um, you know, affect the first round. I usually don't average up unless I'm like slapping a wall or something, but it just depends how confident I am on the trade. So if I'm on a day trade and I'm, you know, like ATER, I was averaging up like crazy on ATER because I've been pounding the table on that high confidence play for me. So, you know, it was a play of the day for me. So I was definitely, you know, averaging up and slapping more because I knew this was going to go. So I was waiting for the key points to help, you know, break those walls. And um, that's a scenario that I would average up on. So I would for swings, you know, obviously you want to play if you're playing DD wise, if you're playing like you believe in the company or you're waiting on news, you know, then technical analysis is obviously going to be in play, but it just depends how high your conviction or how high your conviction is and if you position yourself right, you know. So if you went in like a starter and it's breaking support, you can start adding more below that support. But if we went full size at once and it breaks technical support, you should probably stop out and then, you know, rebuild the position when you see some strength. Reading the tape. So basically, you would look at time and sales. You basically want you know, more buys and sells. And then if you look at level 2, you kind of want to see the red side on the so you want to see the ask, right? You want to see the ask go down, or you want to see the ask be less than the bid. So you want to see more buyers on the bid side, right? Because that shows buyer support. So you want to see walls getting taken out, walls getting eaten, making sure that buys are coming in on time and sales area. Just making sure that the bid is greater than the ask, and there's actually nice bids compared to the ask. But when there's a bigger float play, you know, the bids and the walls are 300 or like 50K each, you know, it's kind of hard to play those for me. That's why I kind of stay away from higher floats, because I like lower float plays. Mumu level 2 is great. Yeah, King's Egg. I love Mumu level 2. It shows shows everything. Mumu, Moomoo. I use it for level 2. Yeah, it's a pretty good program. Yeah, I like low float plays, but you know, I go AMC. I've been calling out 50 breaks since I was at 40, so I'm still holding a good chunk of my AMC because I think it's gonna be a multi-day runner from that 50 break. So, you know, I obviously scalp some, but I got a pretty big position on that 50 break. I'm just gonna kind of hold it for a short-term swing. Try to get like 60 out of it, 60 to 80. How do you establish a stock has low float? You look at the float. You go on FinViz, or you can check on your broker. So on Webull, you can check the free float. I like Webull float better than FinViz. I feel like FinViz lies a lot more, but or just inaccurate information, I would say. But I personally I like using Webull float more. I've seen it more accurate. Options on smaller accounts, it just depends, you know, if you're just everything depends on position sizing. So if you're position sizing correctly and you're adding dips and not going all in at once, unless it's, I don't know, you want to, then you should be fine. It just depends how you play it, you know? I'm not sure how you look on Weibo desktop, actually, the flow. I've never figured it out. I usually look on the phone. I always look on the phone.
For Webull to look on the float on desktop, just add what's it called? I'll look right now. It should be the quote. Where is it? Oh, it's quote. Uh, oh. Quote, there it is. Here it is. So this will tell you the high of day, volume.
Yeah, I had that open, but it doesn't show me the float on there. Unless I click more. Let's see. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's right
if you
there.
click more, it gives you the free float.
Should be right there.
Yeah.
Oh, scans is good for news. News filter
Yeah, I
is
use
really
scans.
cheap. News
I use
filter.io.
I use scans personally. I don't use Momo Scanner anymore. I use Trade Ideas. Search up
Scans, and
scans, news trend.
if you're looking for a cheaper option, just go with news filter. It's only $7 a month.
So right now I'm using my friend's settings on what's it called? Trade Ideas. So I can't really give that out because he told me not to. But I'm gonna try to I haven't gotten time to actually configure a setting for Trade Ideas to give to y'all yet. But you know, I'm gonna work on that. So I'll work on a nice setting for y'all and give that out. What's considered a low float? That's just personal, but like I like under 20 mil. Uh, I like a bit more under 15 mil. Under 10 mil, great. Under 5 mil, I love.
I think what's considered to be a low flow is like 50 or 100, something like that.
That's what you consider a low float?
It's not what I consider. I'm pretty sure it's a fact.
I don't know. I consider low float.
What is a low flow?
That's why I said, you know, it just depends on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, 10 to 20 million shares is a low float. Boy.
Hmm.
Come on now. I don't swing Disney Nvidia just because, you know, that's not my focus. You know, I can make money there, but like if I mastered low flow trading or momentum trading, it doesn't really like, I mean, I'm trying to get into options slowly, but it just, I mean, I'm making good money where I'm at right now, helping others out. I mastered this art, so I like to help people out. So yeah. Yeah, PMCB is a very low flow. I posted out today, watch 4.3 break. It's a micro float. So PMCB 4.3 break is going to be pretty massive there. I don't think it broke today. Yeah, it went down, but just keep it on a watch for multi-day. 3.6 break. I mean 4.3 break. That's going to be pretty big on it. 4.3 break for 5, and then that's going to be big. I don't really look at the average volume. I just make sure that the daily volume is good on the low flow or pretty much any ticker, and making sure that there's momentum at the time of I'm playing, you know, not just complete. That could be like 10 million, 20 million volume on the day, but I want to make sure that there's momentum while I'm playing it. And that's what reading the tape is. You know, if you look at the buy and sales, make sure there's a lot of action going on, so you play that momentum. Yeah, we give ideas on Discord and Twitter. I learn all day. Yeah, pre-market, market hours, after hours. Yeah, I'm just in Tesla long term. Yeah, I like playing low flow momentum stocks with news, but not all are low flow. You know, like 50% are going to be low flow. The other 50 are going to be like 50 to 70 million. So kind of like the mid flow area. BBIG, I don't know. So I'm only playing the momentum on that. A lot of people ask about BBIG. You guys need to learn to cut losses and not go with the hype. You know, if just play the momentum, play the support, play the resistance, play high day breaks, you know. Just don't marry any stocks. That's when you're gonna lose. That's when you have that ape mentality, you know, I just want to hold this because the hype is there, it's gonna go up. You don't want that mentality. You want to compound your gains. You want to focus on actually, you know, building your portfolio rather than just risking it, going all in and just taking an L. Um, so it's not a smart mentality. You want to play smart. We don't want to be, you know, stupid traders to where you just risk everything. Exactly, it already ran 200%. There's obviously potential. 12.5 break. I'm going to play that for 15 to 20. But, you know, obviously I'm not going to hold full for 15. I'm going to scale as we go up because that's managing risk. I'm going to sell on the pops. I'm going to buy the dips. I'm also going to have a long trade on the side to where I try to hold to 15. But if, you know, if it goes to 14, I'm obviously going to scale some. But the main position is going to be there. It's just about managing risk. And then if it goes down from 14 to 13, I'll scale a little bit more. If it goes from 13 to 12, I'll scale a little bit more. And just end the goal is to end green. So that's kind of how I like to end it off.
Sorry about that. My mic was muted. I don't know why, but Minnie and I are gonna get off now. We're probably gonna do this most likely every day, every trading day, starting next week. So I hope y'all are excited for that, and we'll try to record most of them. But I know a lot of y'all are gonna be lazy and not show up, and not show up, and just wait for the recording. But yeah, have a good weekend. Later, everybody. I'll upload the recording soon.
Peace.